I'm not voting for anyone, just stay in bed, yeah? No, you have to go up and vote for Sinn Féin, yeah?
We need a new government. The best outcome is a government without Gael and Fianna Fáil. So that's the first thing that I want to test. Okay, great stuff.
Makes sense, it's half race. Curry on.
Yeah, what's it half?
Curry?
Curry. So that's a third of it.
No, it's a curry half and half. Curry half.
One night I made one and I sent it to my friend. I was like, don't put this anywhere. I was like, I'm just sending it because it's funny. It was only meant to be for group chats. And then he sent it to another one of our friends and he was like, it's going up on the TikTok.
Hello, we're twins. We're twins. Yes, sir. I am me. She is she. Except when I pretend I'm her. And when we switch.
You have this constant circle where Fianna Fáil are elected into government and then they do a really bad job. So people go, oh, we'll vote for Fine Gael. And then Fine Gael go into government, they do a really bad job and then people vote for Fianna Fáil. And it's been this constant circle in Ireland over and over again since basically the foundation of the state. And finally people are seeing that, so it was kind of just making fun of the two of them for trying to pretend they're not the same party.
And how does it feel when people say you don't understand the past?
You know, I was born in 2000 that day. The Good Friday Agreement was signed in 1998, so I have never known anything but peace. Same with all of my friends that are from the north. And I don't know, it kind of hurts that like people are trying to put what happened in the past in front of what should happen in the future.
So did you vote Sinn Féin for the first time this year then?
For me, yes. Yes.
Some people have said that quite a lot of young people might have started being activists for Sinn Féin because they didn't live through the Troubles.
Well, they mightn't have lived through the Troubles, but they've certainly all know that the Troubles were there and all the issues that went around that. And nobody will ever condone, that history of Ireland. But, we are where we are today. And what the young people will remember more, and my generation remembers just as much, is the recession and how it affected people.
And was there something particularly different about this year and this election?
I think for the first time in politics, the young people have got involved. And it's great to see it. Like 10 years ago, there was a little bit of thought about, God, we're leaving this country to the youth of today. Now I'm proud to feel that we're leaving this country to the youth of today.
In Ireland, you have this like persona that the father in the family decides who he votes for, and then he learned from his father and he learned from his father, and that's why we have consecutive terrible Fianna Fáil governments. But now the children are talking to their parents and maybe they're changing their ways. And it's like, yeah, okay, the youth got out and voted for the first time and that has been a huge thing, but also I think it was this whole conversation that happened that, if just the young people are talking about this, maybe everyone is talking about this type thing.
Raise the roof! Not the rent! Raise the roof! Not the rent! We'll never be defeated!
Extra large shell, you know, floating around like ultra flies.
We just want to make it awkward. Point your sign at the people coming in. Very peaceful, but very clear with our message.
Students cannot afford to live in Dublin. They're sleeping on the streets, they're sleeping in cars, they're sharing cars so they can sleep in them. They're not carrying books in their bags, they're carrying sleeping bags.
Housing prices are higher than they have ever been, homelessness is higher than it's ever been, and I think the result of the recent election just shows that people in Ireland and young people just don't want to stand for that anymore.
Did it impact how you voted?
Absolutely.
Who did you vote for then?
My first choice was Sinn Féin. Obviously people have different opinions of Sinn Féin. I know that people in my family are very against Sinn Féin because of their past.
Did you vote Sinn Féin?
My parents are watching. If my parents are, I gave them a high preference.
Is there a possibility they've just tapped into what they think people want, but then they won't actually deliver it?
Absolutely, but I will say at least they've tapped into it. At least they can see what people want. That they're clearly saying the right things. So they're doing something right there.
Obviously the Irish people placed a lot of faith in Sinn Féin. They won the majority vote. We trust them, obviously, that in the next government that there will be some change, and if there's no change, well, that'll be our answer to whether our trust was well placed or not.
Because we've had ministers in the past who really lost touch with reality, and we don't want that to be the case in the future. Whether it's going to be a Sinn Féin-led government or a Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael group, Grand Coalition, that day will have to go because the people of Ireland will not accept it.
It's been described as a youthquake, what's happened here. Is that correct?
No, I think that's too simplistic. So, first of all, the youth vote has been really, really significant. But their parents also voted for us, and their grandparents also voted for us in very significant numbers. Two long-standing voters of ours told us that their mother, who is 83, who has never voted for our party, was voting for us because she was fed up of the crisis in the health system, the expensive childcare that her grandchildren had to pay, and the fact that her grandchildren couldn't afford to rent or buy. This is cross-generational. This is young people, this is their parents, this is the grandparents saying the old political system is over. It's now up to us to create something new.
So what happens if the talks break down?
We want to be in government, but it has to be a government that does things differently. We can't go back to the Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael status quo. Should there be another election? No, there shouldn't. People have voted, they've given their view. They want politicians to roll up their sleeves, form a government and deliver the change that people voted for, and that's what we're going to focus on in the time ahead.
If you've got a situation today where you've got a teacher and a guard maybe in a house who cannot get a mortgage, it's ridiculous. And that's been the case in this country for a long time.
What do you hope is going to happen from this result?
So it's looking like the deal on the table right now is Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil, even though they swore they wouldn't go in with each other, are going to go in with a coalition, and they're looking for the Greens to go in with them. Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil don't care. Do you know, they don't care about the climate crisis, the trolley crisis or the housing crisis. They care about their little bubble in South Dublin.
For them to jump together now and go in there, they're not doing what the people are asking, and they're not listening to the people, and they're ignoring the voters.